What's up, guys? Nick Verge here from nickverge.com. Very clever domain. I know, it's extremely genius.
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
I am recording a video for you today to talk about the main thing that makes or breaks campaigns, the main thing that makes or breaks a VSL, email automation, webinar, doesn't matter what it is. That one main thing is so let's talk about why campaigns fail, or why anything. It doesn't matter whether it's, again, VSL, webinar, email automation, why anything fails to convert. So it's usually going to be one of a few different problems that you're going to be experiencing. And usually it's in the form of either, hey, this messaging is not really resonating with the market, right? This offer is not really resonating with the market, or just the way you're presenting it is not resonating with the market, okay? The way you're presenting it is your modality, okay? That's gonna be webinar, that's gonna be a VSL, that's gonna be a 3-day challenge, that's gonna be a live in-person event, whatever it is, that can change. And people overemphasize that part of the process. Oh, how am I gonna deliver it to them? And that's great. It's all very important and everything. But what's infinitely more important is, okay, what is the message we're making and what's the offer we're making? So oftentimes what happens when people are getting ready to market something, a new offer that they're launching, or perhaps it is a spin up of a JV offer or whatever, who knows? They're trying to create something new. They immediately want to go towards creating the asset they need to create. So the VSL script, the email automations, sales letter, whatever it is, they go immediately to that. And this is oftentimes, in my opinion, one of the worst things you can do, because I think that you're going to be missing out on a lot of powerful information that you could weave into your script or your letter or whatever it is, your copy that you're writing. You're missing out on so much ammo that you could put in there, that had you slowed down and done what I'm about to tell you right now, you would have actually been able to use that ammo and you would have had a much more effective sales presentation. So what is this ammo that I'm talking about? This thing that I'm keeping from you in order to keep you watching this video, because that's what you're supposed to do with information, to create open loops. Notice how I'm just explaining to you what I'm doing.
Just fucking say it already.
That thing is called the creative brief. Now, oftentimes I will come to 7- and 8-figure companies and ask them, do you have a creative brief? And they'll go, oh, we have a branding guideline.
Can I get the icon in cornflower blue?
No, sweetheart, I'm not talking about what colors you need to use on your website. I'm talking about a creative brief, okay? So a creative brief is a consolidated text which includes everything that someone needs to know about your product, okay? So that is the promise you're making, the problem you solve, the way you solve that problem, the unique way you solve that problem, so like your unique mechanism. And then on top of that, who you go after, like who are your avatars, descriptions of those avatars, right? The features and benefits of your product. And then, so much more. I mean, you could include anything in there. Realistically, you could include statistics, so reasons why someone should believe. So you could have all types of medical statistics if you have some sort of health offer or whatever. But whatever you feel is the right information that you want to have about your product. I personally like all those different areas I just stated. In fact, I'll include an example creative brief for you guys in this video. I'll put it as a link inside the description down below.
What's down below?
That creative brief, it's probably the most important part of the entire process, because what you're doing is you're taking all the information, putting it into one document, and now you can take this one document and you can augment it and shape it into the VSL, into a webinar, into an ad campaign, into whatever. The reason why is because it's an organized body of information. It's everything someone needs to know about your specific product. And while you are creating this thing,
oh, he's wired in. That's what I'm talking about.
And you're writing up, okay, here's the promise that we make. Okay, here's the problems that we make. Or here's the problems that we solve, and here's the way we solve them, and here's the desires of our audience. Like, you start to realize, oh, I should probably include a lot of this inside of my sales presentation. And a lot of people don't do that. They are more focused on talking about their product and their service and how amazing it is, when it's much more important to talk about the prospect and what they want and what their desires are and what they're trying to achieve and the struggles they're experiencing and why they're experiencing those struggles and what it's like out there, rather than talking about what it's like with you and who you are and everything like that.
Well, let's not make this all about you.
So in order for you to actually be able to write copy that's like good at being able to actually explain that to people, is by doing a lot of research. And while you're doing research, you're going to forget stuff. You can't just remember everything. So that's what the creative brief is for. It's to take all of your research about the topic at hand, the product, the prospect, whatever it is, whether it's for a client or your own prospect or your own product. Like you can do a creative brief for, if you're an agency, the client you're going after and you know who that is. And so then all of your marketing as an agency revolves around this creative brief. And then you can do these for individual clients as well. Right? A new client comes in, oh, let's get a creative brief together. So then we have all the information we need to know about that prospect in one area. Now, people will do this, but oftentimes I think they do a bad job of, let's just call it a poor job of actually creating an effective creative brief. See, oftentimes what it'll be is someone thinking from their own perspective, oh, here's the problem that person is experiencing. And that's not the way to do this, right? Sometimes you'll just get it right because you understand the avatar and you understand the audience and you understand the product well enough that it's like, you get it.
I get it.
But in most cases, you want to talk to the avatar directly. You want to talk to the audience directly. Interview calls, whether it be research, whatever it is, like, you know, emailing them, messaging them, however you can get a hold of them. If you have a client, ask to speak to their prospect list. So you should be able to call their prospect list, get like 5 or 6 appointments together and just speak with the audience and ask them questions, right? Hey, what's the biggest problem you experienced before you bought this product? Okay. And how did this solve it? Versus I'm going to sit here and I'm going to think of what's the biggest problem they're experiencing and how did they solve it? Why not pull it from real experience? Because it has a higher likelihood of resonating with the audience. It's oftentimes going to be in an interview with someone where they're just going to say the gold line that's like, oh, that's it. Like, that's the thing. That's what we have to say. No more this, or say hello to this, or finally this, whatever it is that they said, you know, you'll use that as your copy. And the only way you're really going to get that is with research. So if you skip research, if you skip the creative brief process, I think what you're doing is you're, you know, even if you are an effective marketer, like I have written for enough niches and have created enough marketing assets from VSLs to sales letters, emails, doesn't really matter what it is, that I can just go and write and get a pretty good letter or VSL or whatever together because I understand markets as a whole, okay? But I'm gonna have watered down copy and marketing compared to if I were to take time actually doing research and actually being able to get the information directly from the horse's mouth, like what they were saying, consolidate that into an actual brief, a creative brief, and then from there, go and start producing these assets because I'll just have more ammo. I'll just have better information. So guys, like you think about most heavy operations in terms of, let's just say the military doesn't rush into a building with no plan whatsoever. The military has a plan before they do that. And why is that? Because if you follow a plan, you're much more likely to see success than if you don't follow a plan. So same thing goes with the copy and the marketing that you're creating. If you don't have a plan for what you're saying, what you're communicating, how you're selling it, what your sales argument is, why someone should buy your product, like if you don't have all of that in a plan-like format, creative brief, that's what I'm saying. If you don't have that, you're kind of just rushing into the building and it's easy for you to get in a position where, you know, you could get taken advantage of. Not really. You're not gonna get taken advantage of. Your shit's just not gonna convert. We don't want that. That sucks.
It really, really sucks.
So guys, when you are sitting down to write, ask yourself, do I have a creative brief for this project together? If it's a new client, you should probably go and do that. If it's your business, why not just get it done once and then you have that for life? And so when you're sitting there and you're stuck on your VSL and you're like, I really need to create this new VSL and I'm trying to explain the problem the avatar is experiencing. How should I explain it? Oh, why don't I go to my creative brief? Oh, I have this list of 50 possible problems this person's experiencing. And then I have an explanation of the problem itself. I can just copy and paste that, put that there. I could even give it to ChatGPT and ask it to make copy for me, so on and so forth. Guys, like there's no reason to not have a creative brief. So if you want to see one, I will have it somewhere in the description of this video. You can click on that and I will show you literally on a Google Doc what a creative brief looks like. I'll probably have an example, like a filled out example, and then I'll also have just like a blank template example that you can use. So hope that is useful for you.
Hell yes.
That's everything that I got for you in this video today. So if you don't subscribe to my channel, I'll be held hostage for years on a small island with a gun to my head. And they will never let me leave that island if you don't subscribe. So you probably should subscribe unless you don't care at all about me. And you think that I deserve to die on that island.
No.
And that's just that. Well, you know, don't come watch my YouTube videos. Like that's mean. I don't make these YouTube videos for no reason. I make it because I want to help you, and you can't even subscribe and free me from this hostage situation on this island. Like, who is you, bro? Come on, man. Anyways, all jokes aside, if you want to subscribe down below. If you want to leave a comment with any questions or anything that you want help with in terms of a creative brief, or any questions you have surrounding anything I said in this video, drop it down below. More than happy to answer any questions, and I will see you on the next video.